Relentlessly Faithful series this year in 2021, and I hope you guys are all doing well. I figure our topic today is pretty timely. Um, Not everything goes as planned, and that leads us to either react or continue moving forward. And you can continue moving forward when you react, but how we react is the key thing. So I thought we would talk about that today. But it's been a crazy morning here. I'm a little late. I apologize. We had an insurance adjuster out here today because of our solar panels. And the big dog and I were running through the woods this morning, heading out. When the gate needs to be unlocked, I enjoy doing that on foot. So I was out walking, running the woods, and also felt like I was in a jungle gym with all the felled trees. I'll tell you what, God sure had his hand on us with those heavy winds, because it is just one tangled, obscene mess in the woods out here after the heavy winds we got. So feel very blessed by that. But feeling, I don't know about you guys, but this is the question. How are you guys today? I'm kind of feeling out of sorts. Can't quite put a finger on it, just feeling sort of out of sorts. And I've moved things in this corner, so now I kind of got to stretch. So I'm going to scooch over because I think, Miss Carol. Yes, I did. Miss Carol and Miss Nicole. Good morning, ladies. How are you guys doing today? I'm going to knock things over. I hope you guys are doing well. Nicole, I had such a fun time with Caden and Kayla on Friday. That was so much fun. I see why God is nudging me in that direction with the kids' corner. I really enjoyed that. I hope they enjoyed it as much as I did. But how are you guys? In life, things don't go as planned, and that applies to all aspects of our life. And we can't control much that happens around us. We can't control other people. But the one thing we can control is, of course, how we react. And I think that we're all on a mission of a work in progress when it comes to that. But how are you guys feeling today? How are you guys doing? I'm glad they loved it, Nicole. That was so much fun. Good morning, Miss Shelley. Big praise for Miss Shelley. She is a grandma today. Well, not today, but this week. And has a brand new grandbaby. So celebrating that with Shelley. Shelley, did they come up? I didn't see the names. I don't know if you want to share it here or not. If you don't, that's fine. If you do, that's great. But congratulations. Really excited for you. But I was asking everybody how they're doing. I'm actually good today. Congratulations, Shelley. How awesome. Yes, congrats, Shelley, Nicole says. So when you guys have things that go awry in your life, do you have things in place to kind of, as you've aged, to redirect yourself or are you a person that can easily roll with circumstances in your life? Because, how we react to things and our abilities to continue rolling with life is actually a really good skill. It is actually a survival skill, because when you're in a situation of any kind that requires your survival instincts to kick in, when you're used to rolling with circumstances, it helps you in the way that you will easily adapt and overcome in those situations. Where if you are a type of person that panics when things don't go your way, it can really be a debilitating aspect in our lives. And our focus out here isn't just homesteading and off-grid living, but it also includes wilderness survival and just preparing for our future. If you guys have been following us for any length of time, you know that our goal here is to prepare forward every day for our future, whether that's tomorrow, whether that is a year and a half from now, 5 years from now, whatever the case may be. But we're always in preparation and in forward progress. And, that's why I wanted to talk about that today, because so often when things happen to people, they end up in a debilitated place because circumstances didn't go the way they had anticipated. And right now, I think many of us are seeing that in our country. I know Carol is watching from afar, but we have much greater control over ourselves and our circumstances than we realize. And we may not be able to control what's happening directly around us, but we can control ourselves and our environment. And you hear me saying living out of a place of joy. It is possible when there's chaos going on around you. Let me see here. Mackenzie Ray, she was born Monday by C-section at 8:39 a.m. She was 7 pounds 6 ounces, and everyone is doing fine. That is so awesome. I love the name. I love the middle name too. That's really cool. Are they home or are they still in the facility? Carol says, yep, my friend Christine video calls me. She knows me years. If she knows I'm feeling down or can't be bothered, she virtually kicks my butt and gets me up and running again. Awesome. And you know what? We all need those kinds of friends in our lives. I don't know about you ladies and folks that are joining. Sometimes there's people in the background that aren't commenting. Join us, chime in. If you're if you're out there and share where you're from, join in the conversation. It's a lot of fun. If you're watching the replay, leave your comments. But how many of you can attest to the fact that all of a sudden a friend pops in your mind and they just won't leave? Like they're there and it's like you just keep thinking about them, and you reach out to them and they're like, oh man, I needed to hear from you in the worst way today. Or, different things like that. I believe that God nudges us to act in an effort to be there for our friends. God knows our needs better than anybody else's, and it just never fails. There are especially several of my friends that it's like that, and it's reciprocal. They all of a sudden I'm heavy on their mind, they'll reach out, and it's like it's just such a godsend, and it's such a blessing to have people in our lives that are willing to roll their sleeves up and get dirty in an effort to help us get our bootstraps. And that is tremendously huge. And Carol, that was an awesome share. Because we need those people in our lives. We need them because sometimes, even though we have God by our side with us all the time, the enemy hangs tight, and he keeps us in these neutral places, not necessarily in a bad place, not necessarily in a good place, but in a neutral place. And I think that our friends are that extra stepping stone sometimes we need just to progress out of that place. And because I don't really know how to explain that, because I have great faith and great trust in God, but there are days when it is just such a blessing to have a friend reach out and be that stepping stone that I needed in the day. So Carol, you are blessed. I can see that. I feel blessed. I have so many friends that are there for me, but I also feel blessed because you guys are stepping stones too, because I gain renewal when I spend time with you guys. I don't know about you guys, but it's very renewing to me. It's very gratifying, and it's always an enjoyable time. And, just in our Bible study too, it's like there's so much nurturing and love that is shared here, and it's very powerful. And we need that regardless what is going on in our lives. But I think with everything that is transpiring and everything that's going around, I think now more than ever, we need to be light, salt, and love to all those around us. And in turn, being in places like this, gathered together, it's reciprocal. And we need that because we need to be strengthened, we need to be empowered, and we need to be encouraged in these uncertain times. But that helps us to put on our armor, and that helps us to be stronger for Him, stronger for ourselves, stronger for our families. And I feel that the more we can renew ourselves during these times, the better off we are. And whether that means, like I said, this morning I was running through the woods because it was really funny. We got up, but I ate breakfast and I was going to go out, and I knew I was cutting across, and I did realize there was probably going to be more trees down. And I took the big dog with me, and I love going through the woods because it's like a challenge. It's, weaving through things, and you always see interesting things. And I mean, it was like a jungle gym. So that in and of itself was very renewing because I came back and I was soaked because I ran out and I ran back pretty much. I mean, there was a little walking and roaming in between and climbing trees, but that's renewing to me. I like exercising. I like getting my endorphins going. I like a good sweat. And that helps clear our minds too. But there's nothing better than a group of strong, powerful, renewing friends. And I feel like we are all that. So let me jump back here. Oh, I love you guys. You guys have been busy this morning. Okay, and she says, and then messages from you. Oh, and I felt really good. Thank you so much. Oh, that's so awesome. Awesome. That's what friends are for. You know what? It's really awesome. I love it when God nudges me and puts people on my heart because I know what it feels like for me. And when God puts people on my heart, I am obedient because I know there's purpose in it always. So I give that to God, Carol. He nudged me because you didn't seem yourself last week, so I was concerned. Carol says, what a gorgeous name, Shelley. Hope Mom is doing good too. Shelley says, for Christmas, I asked for an emergency backpack with supplies just in case I am away from home if something happens. We live on an island in an earthquake zone. Very awesome. Awesome. And I saw the knife you shared the other day. That is quite sweet. That was a Bowie knife, wasn't it? That's a nice knife. Yeah, Nicole says, I love this truth. Yes, we need to surround ourselves with people that build us, not that break us. Shelley says they're still in the hospital. He has to stay to take care of the baby since she is not allowed to lift anything yet. Shelley, I never heard of such a thing, and I think that is so awesome. And you shared the pictures of him holding her. I mean, he is just radiating. Oh, it's so awesome. But that's so cool that he is able to do that because in most cases, what we've seen is, dad's sent home and the nurses take over and take care of the baby. So what an awesome thing and opportunity for him to bond with the baby. That is just so, so awesome. I love that. Is that common in Canada, Shelley? Okay, so let me see. Miss Jane's in the house. Good morning, Miss Jane. Let me see. Carol says, so glad, Shelley, sending hugs, love, prayers for all of your family. Good morning, Jane. And I love you too, Miss Carol. She says, I love our Trayer family. Yes, we have a very good Trayer family, do we not? My in-laws and us were talking last night, and they said they just love our audience and our community. It's very awesome. Awesome, Jane. She says, this is therapy for all. Shelley says, so do I, Carol. Are they not awesome? You guys are awesome. Jane says we have snow coming. Now, I know Jane is not too terrible far from me. You're up in the Coeur d'Alene area, right, Jane? So it must be heading this way. I had little flakes coming down this morning while I was racing through the woods. Carol says, I have 7 grandchildren, Shelley. Yes, she shared her, I just went blank. Lorenzo. Is Lorenzo your youngest, Carol? I can't remember. Shelley says, with everything so negative, this Trayer family is always so positive. It helps the soul. I'm so glad to hear that, guys, because it's funny. You know, I said to the mountain man this morning, and you guys, especially Shelley, because this goes back, I think it was last summer or maybe the summer before. There was a day I remember, I just did not want to go live. I did not feel right. I was just in a weird place. My body was flaring and I was fighting it, and God just kept pushing me to go live. And I was sitting on the back porch that day, and it was the most powerful live I think I've ever done. And it's really funny. You know, God guides me and God nudges me on these things. He nudges me on the topics. And even today, it's not that I feel bad or I'm in a negative place. I'm just neutral. And I don't know quite why. I will say this. It is, as positive as I am, I don't lose my positivity, but I will say that through everything that's been transpiring, it is saddening, and maybe that's what I'm experiencing. Hey, Diana's in the house. Yay, you made a live. I'm so excited. But that's, you know, I think that's what it is more than anything, is it's just saddening to see what's happening to our America, because I'm a proud American, and I will remain a proud American, and, you know, I want to see America great again. So I think that plays a role. It's just saddening to me. And you know, as I'm saying it, I'm feeling like I'm hitting the nail on the head. It's just saddening to see the things that are happening. However, as saddening as it may be, my Bible sits right here. My journal is right here. And I will look back through every day that we've experienced awful, chaotic stuff. And there's so much to be grateful for. There's so much to be thankful for in His Word. He is there for us. He is our rock. He is our salvation. He will not leave us. These are truths that we can bank on, that we can stand our feet firm on. I mean, those are things that are never going to change. Even though everything around us may be falling apart, we have that truth. And that truth is what we are living out of. Here at Trayer Wilderness, we live out of it. We trust that God has a plan. We trust that regardless how sad and disturbing things may be, good is going to come from this. God can always, always, always bring good from the ashes. And it's hard to envision that sometimes, but we got to keep our headspace in that place. And I can already say that neutral place I felt like I was in when I went live is gone. Because like I said, you guys are just as renewing for me in being able to communicate with you and being able to be uplifted by you guys, as well as just sharing. So, you know, it's powerful. It's powerful being in those places. And I don't know about you guys. One of the ladies in the Bible study shared with me, and I'm guilty of this too. I've done other Bible studies. And I haven't followed through, or it seemed like a lot of work to me to do that because I had to leave my house. And thinking about it right now, we're both introverts. And I don't know about you ladies, but it's nice to have this place that we can join, that we don't have to leave our home, that we don't have to waste fuel money, that we don't have to shuffle our schedules or race around to get to it. We can just be here, and we can do other things while we're doing this. You know, I've done dishes already while I've been doing some of my live videos, and I know you guys are doing odds and ends things and listening at times. You know, so it's a great thing. I mean, you know, the internet has its bad and its good, but this is definitely one of the positives, is being able to do this. I saw Miss Laura's in the house too. Where are you? There you are. Welcome, welcome. I am glad you are here. Jane says, "Oh, we had a baby. What a blessing." Yep. I think with COVID, they are limiting nurse contact. He has this week off, so he might just as well be there taking care of them. That is just so awesome. I am so, that just makes my heart sing though, because, you know, that is one powerful opportunity for bonding for the dad. So that's so cool. So cool. And the baby's not, you know, with strangers as far as I look at it. I mean, not that nurses aren't, especially the women that are in that unit, they're there because they've got great love for babies. So it's just awesome. Carol says, I'm not so sure about them. Their in-laws, they want me to share the bathhouse. We were saying that. Were your ears ringing last night? Because they're planning to come out in spring. And my mother-in-law said last night that she would love to be out here now. I said, well, Carol's not here yet. The bathhouse is available. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so Lorenzo is your youngest, Carol. He's so cute. He reminds me of our nephew, Glenn's sister's little guy. Just a character. Jane says, Carol, be nice, you can share. Oh, that was so funny. The emojis you were sharing the other day when you're not sharing the bathhouse, that was just so funny. We can help carry you, Tammy. I appreciate that because, we all have those days. We all have those days. And that's why, and I'm going to put this out there now because sometimes I say it at the end and I don't give people a chance to say anything before I pop off. But if you guys have prayers today, please share them now so that we can pray for each other. I'm good now. I just needed to spend time with you guys. And it's kind of funny. I am introverted and I will go days without this connection, but I do need the connection. It's just I need it. I don't need it as much as others. And, that could very well have been what it was because I missed you guys for a day. Oh, I got to share something with you quick. Let me see if I can stretch this. Hang on. Look, Carol, I've been doing the weekly or the daily video, and I was working on my pantry. This stuff here still needs to get placed in jars. I had to clean and shuffle jars. That needs to go into a smaller jar. So I need to shuffle things, but look at my shelves. I'm like so excited. I mean, they're full, but they're not, they're not full of junk. It's all my jars. So I'm excited. So it's coming together, and I don't know if you can see this, but I am testing the putty on my little stool he created, and I'm going to start waxing the cabinets later today. So pretty awesome. I'm excited. All right, let me spin this back around. But yeah, that's the thing. We need to carry each other. We all have those moments. We all have those days, and it is hard right now. I mean, it's hard watching what's happening. It's hard, seeing. It's sad to see what's happening in the United States. But God's gonna take care of it all. Let me see here. Yeah, Shelly says, Diana, so nice to see you here. Yes, it's been a while. I'm so glad you are here, girl. So glad. Carol says, you just reminded me. Get me. I bought a journal. Yeah, all right. So I'm going to encourage you to keep writing in that every day. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's so much fun to be able to look back at it and to record things. And I like doodling in mine and all kinds of stuff. Carol says, if anyone ever needs to talk, please email me. Well, that's really awesome because I know there's some other people that would enjoy that. And Carol's in the UK, so it's a lot of fun. I'm excited just to have so many of you joining from all over the place to get to know you and learn your cultures and the different things too. Okay, so Laura says, the Bible tells us to pray and specifically to pray for our leaders. Yes, absolutely it does. And we have to. We have to pray for our leaders. Both the ones that are corrupt and the ones that aren't, because we need souls to be changed, and we need to empower those that are fighting for us. That's what we've been doing on a regular basis. We have prayed for President Trump every day. Our leaders need prayers and they need lifted up. They also need to know, just like we need empowerment, I have to imagine they get a lot of nasty letters. It's good for the ones that are working for us to send them a nice one, Diana says, I believe we're past the time to try and wake up the sheep. I agree. It's time to wake up the lions. You shared that the other day, and I actually mentioned that last week or the week before. You always share the best stuff. I still, Diana shared a picture of the bride putting on her combat boots with a lion in the background. I talk about that at Bible study a lot. That photo has empowered me in such a huge way. And guys, we are the lions. We are the lions that need to be prepared. We need to be fighting for our country in prayer, fighting for our families, fighting for ourselves through prayer. You know, prayer, fervent prayer is our greatest weapon. And we need to use it. And we need to continue to demand the enemy out of our homes and out of our spaces. You know, we walk our property and pray over it. It's important. The enemy is so present, and the enemy plays such a huge role in discord in our families. You know, it's really clear that they want the family unit broken down here in the United States, and confusion as to what the family looks like. And, you know, that's all the more reason we need to stand firm for our families in prayer and fight hard. And now more than ever, I totally agree with Diana, and I love that statement about about waking up the sheep. It's time to wake up our other lions and join forces and be a powerful barrier that can't be broken. Jane says, I hear you there. We ran a biker Bible study for years at our church. Awesome. I'd barely get home from work and be running out the door. How productive am I when I am in a fluster? Yeah, exactly. You know, and for me, okay, I left. This is really funny. It just dawned on me why I feel the way I do today. I went to town yesterday. I left at like, I don't know, 11, and I didn't get back till like almost 4. And I got back here, and it's like my brain was just mush. I was exhausted. I was drained. And when I go to town, my face flares. It gets really red and just feels, it's just all the toxins. So that's why I'm off today. I wasn't even thinking about that, but I drew the short straw, man. I did not want to go. I don't like leaving our homestead, and I know, and the more I'm here, and this one more than the other one, I don't know. I just love my cozy house and my view. So I don't know. I love my house. I love being here. I don't like going to town. I don't like being around a lot of people. This is different. This is so different. It's just, I don't know what it is, and I don't know if it's because of the, you know, being introverted or what, but yes, Jane, it's so nice when you can do things and you're at peace. Which reminds me, if any of you want to join the Bible study, because the date was off, we've switched it from Tuesdays at 5 to Thursdays at 5:30, because poor Miss Tammy was eating her dinner for the first half hour with her family while we were doing Bible study. And I just couldn't imagine how hard that had to be. So we bumped it a half an hour, and I had to switch the day because I had another commitment come up that I had to switch. So if you're interested in that, you can go to trayerwilderness.com/Bible study book club. Laura says, God puts those into power that he wants in power. We need to pray for the leaders of whether we agree with them or not. It's true. It is true. We also need to pray that if, you know, in this situation, I feel there's more to come. I feel that things aren't finalized there. I don't know. I have a feeling that things are going to go upside down a little bit there. So we just need to pray for, you know, God's will to be done. And like I said, God can bring beauty from the ashes. God's got a plan. And, it just popped in my head. You know, Jacob and Esau is a perfect example of that. Jacob was the manipulator and the deceitful one, and yet God turned it around and made him more wholesome and used him in a position. So, you know, God can do all kinds of things in the hearts of man, and we just need to trust that. We do need to trust that. Jane says, you can come visit anytime. Just give me a heads up. Awesome. Carol says, wow, those shelves are awesome. I knew you would test the putty first. Oh my gosh, yes. And I'm not happy with it. I got to come up with something different. It's a different type of putty in order for me to get the oils into it. It's a soft putty and it's smeary and it's, I don't know. I think I'm going to have to like hack the putty knife and make it only this wide and play around with it. I don't know. I'm definitely going to be playing a little bit here before I do the cabinets because I'm not happy with how this looks. Diana says, my prayers for those who represent us is that God opens their eyes and also that he brings to light all that needs to be brought to light, no matter what side of the aisle they are. Exactly. That's what we've got, like I said, God can change souls and we need souls change. We need people's eyes open and it's crazy stuff going on. Shelley says they're trying to divide and conquer. We need each other to prevent this. Exactly. Jane says I'm a homebody too. Diana says in our house church, we are learning just how messy it is to truly do life together. It is worth it, and I'm so grateful for them stepping into my mess. That's really awesome. And you know what? When you have people, it is powerful. You know, the Bible talks about being able to go to our elders or go to our Christian leaders, and that there is something so incredibly powerful for individuals and for married couples to have other Christian people that you can go to that will walk through, like Diana said, the mess, the muck, the mire. They don't judge. They don't turn their backs on you. They don't share your mess if you don't want it shared, but they support you. They're real, they're honest, they're loving, and they're bold, and we need that in our lives. We need that because as we walk out life, we're going to walk through a lot of stuff. And when you have those kind of people in your life that you can trust wholeheartedly and that they're there for you and you're there for them, there is so much great power in that. And it's hard to find that. It is truthfully hard to find that. So when you find that, that is a treasure. Oh, that is a diamond in the rough. That is a treasure. And I'm really glad, Diana, that you guys have that. That is so awesome. That is so awesome. Shelley says, I prefer to be at home and quiet, but I do need people on occasion. Yeah. So it's kind of funny. I think we're all kind of pretty close to the same. So that's, I think, why this is so fitting for us all. I just noticed something and I want to share this with you. I'm excited. Many of you guys know that I am not only an author, but I also write for different magazines. And Backwoods Survival Guide currently has one of my articles in here on solar power. So I am like super stoked about that. I think this is my second, actually this might be my first article. In this one they also have the Prepper's Survival Guide, which I think, which is where my other article had gone earlier. But this is the Backwoods Survival Guide. I highly recommend this. This is a great magazine. It covers a lot of different things: homesteading, off-grid living, bushcraft. So if you're looking for those kind of things, this is definitely a really great magazine. And I'm also blessed at the same time to have had the opportunity to get an article in the current issue of the New Pioneer magazine. And this one, I usually write about topics. I don't always get the opportunity to write about people. I had the opportunity to write about J.C. Desclose and his wife Lori. They are from the Boss of the Swamp on YouTube. So if you look up Boss of the Swamp, you will find them. Fabulous people living very like we do, very like-minded. Like, you know, it's kind of crazy. They're so like-minded. I know you will enjoy them. He's got a great sense of humor. And you can see there they've got a great garden. They do great things and share how they do things and what they're doing. So That's another great magazine. That went from a quarterly magazine back to a twice a year magazine. So fabulous. I've been writing for them since 2012. They were the first magazine I ever wrote in, that I was published in. And I was actually taking a writing course when I submitted my query for the article. And I had submitted that, and 3 days later she messaged back and said she was interested in my article. The mountain man thought somebody died because I was just like totally wound up. But that was also the same issue that we ended up on the cover for the first time. So not only did I get published for the first time, we also made the cover. So it was totally divine. But I've been writing for them since 2012. They are fabulous. Fabulous. They cover all kinds of stuff. So if you're looking at the homesteading, off-grid, preparedness kind of lifestyle, these magazines are really awesome. So let me see here. Shelly says, I definitely need this forum. When I cannot get on here live, it is like I am missing a good night's sleep. Oh, that's so awesome. That is so awesome. Diana says, there is also a certain group of 4 ladies who have kept me lifted in prayer. Amen, sister. That's what we're all about. We love you. Carol says, wow, how cool is that? Yes, I'm excited. Jane said he's very inventive. Washing machine. I love his accent. Now, are you talking about JC? I imagine that's who you're talking about. And are you talking about a washing machine that is with a water wheel in a creek, or an old washing machine in his shop? The boss. All right. Yeah, he's got that. He's definitely from up in New York. And I forget what does he say? The reason I asked that, Jane, there is a fella from the UK that we watch, and I can't remember the name of his channel. It's his name, I think. I've been watching him for years, too. And this guy has quite the accent, and we just watched him put a water wheel in a creek, and it was to create power, and he added a side wheel, wooden wheel that he has a flip lid on that he can put his wash in, so while the wheels are spinning, all he has to do is add soap and it washes his clothes in the creek. So that's what made me think of that. But I'm trying to think what he says a lot that's really funny. Yeah, we joke about that all the time too. He's definitely got the accent. But great people. I've been communicating with him for a couple years, and I asked him in fall of last year if he'd mind if I'd write something on him. So I was very blessed to have that opportunity, because they do great stuff, and he's another one with an amazing positive mindset. So like when he's sharing his stuff on YouTube, I'm like, yep, and just total homebody. And they're nestled in up there in New Hampshire and just love being in the woods. They only go out when they have to too. So it's just funny. So this has been a good conversation today. I love you guys so much, and I'm so grateful that you guys get out of this what I get out of this. It's reciprocal. We can empower one another and pray for one another. We have seen so many miracles worked through our audience and through prayers. I want to ask you guys to pray for Melissa. I haven't seen her on any of the lives lately, and she has been emailing me, sharing, and she had asked for prayers for herself and also for her son. Melissa has the chemical sensitivities that I do, and she has been living by herself, and her son has moved in, and so having colognes and even deodorant and fabric softeners and all that stuff can just send you through the roof. So what's been really awesome, though, is that she has been unaffected. She's affected in all other circumstances, but God has put a shield over her in this setting, because he's doing other work at the same time. So pray for Melissa and her son. And I haven't heard from Terry in a while since they're back, but pray for Terry as well, and Chad. I saw Carol ask about the mountain man. Yeah, she says, where's the mountain man? No grunt, no laugh, no smiles, nothing. No, he has run out to fill up our gas cans. We wanted to make sure we'd just like to keep stuff on hand. So he's filling those up, and he ran out to get some kind of fuel additive. And then he's heading back out into the shop to finish the stairs. I got the stair treads yesterday. Man, our lumber prices are high. With all the wildfires out here that we had and in the Pacific Northwest, the lumber prices have just gone through the roof. It was like $50 to get 3 2x6x10s, which is just absolute insanity. I will tell him that he was missed. I'll probably come on later, either today or tomorrow. That man has been he blows me away. Wait till you see these stairs and how he has worked this out. And it just blows my mind how his mind works. I'm just so grateful to be able to watch him do this. And I was so grateful the other day that he went into one of his Eugenius moments on film. It's just like his face glazes over and you can just see his eyeballs like a ping pong or what is that? I'm aging myself. Is it ping pong ball? The machines with the balls in it that used to be in the arcade. Anyway, one of you guys will laugh and share it with me. But anyway, he cracks me up when he just gets an idea. It's like this poof. It's like this major implanted epiphany. So he did that the other day when we were live on the video. But the stairs, by the end of that day, he had the handle on it and the latch on it. And I mean, wait till you see how he designed. I mean, he pulls steel out of buckets and I don't know if you guys watched the other day. I forget what he was showing. He wanted a scrap piece of steel. Oh, the bender. He has a bucket of scraps, and it hurt him to grab a piece out of there and use it and possibly ruin it as an example because he might need it later. And that's how he rolls, though. I mean, he made the pulleys by hand. And I wish that we could set up a camera out there, but with him moving around the small space, and Lord only knows what would happen to his phone out there, but it's also dark. But when he installs this staircase, we're going to have 2 videos going. One recording it so we can use it as a separate how-to video, and the other us live. But, I mean, it's just amazing. These stairs are going to be so cool. So he's got to paint them today, clean them up and paint them, and then put the stair treads on them. And then he's waiting for the concrete to cure, or we would probably have them in today. So I don't know, maybe later today, but probably tomorrow, or today's Thursday, Saturday. So I'm excited. It'll be awesome. I thought I saw Shelly. She says, we have snow coming this weekend. Got to be prepared. Yep, exactly. Plus, with the gray days, we tend to use our generator. And when he's working with the tools, we're using the generator. So our Honda is very, very efficient, but the other one is not so much, and that's what he uses when he's welding. So once we get this stuff done, though, we really won't need a lot of fuel. We've got our solar figured out. That was kind of a bummer today. I got to get a new panel, and I didn't think about our deductible. So that panel, it's covered. It would be covered, but it's way under our deductible. So we're going to have to get a new panel because it's still working. But what happens is if water gets in those glass shards, it'll actually short circuit it. So, and I don't know how that would affect what it's attached to, which probably would be good. Carol says, most of my build channels I watch have said wood prices are ridiculous. Oh yeah, it's absolutely insane. It's been insane. I mean, it would have cost us, we milled everything here with the exception of the plywood, but it would have cost us this year probably 3 times more to build this than it would have a year ago if we would have purchased lumber. That's how much it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Jane says, yes, our remodeling is sitting for a minute until prices come down. Yeah. I mean, even the lumber companies, yesterday it was slim pickings on the shelf. The stair treads we purchased number 1 so that they were nicer, and There was probably 6 more left on the shelf, and I took the nicest ones, and they weren't that nice. But he said they're afraid to purchase lumber. If they purchase and then everything comes down, they're eating that, so I can't blame them. Carol says, he is just awesome when he goes into teaching mode. I know, it's so funny. I love the Glen and the orange pencil. That's sticking now. I always joke about him with that, but that's going to stick now. Jane says, Shelley, where are you? And Shelley says, Vancouver Island on Canada's west coast. And she says, nice and beautiful. And it is beautiful there. I can imagine. One of these days we're going to get to visit. Laura says, so maybe able to save that solar panel with some clear nail polish. Oh, the whole front of it, it's just shattered. When they use, but we're working on repairing it. He's going to try to repair it just out of curiosity. They use a special glass on the panels. I don't know if I have it on my iPad that I can show you. But when it breaks, it shatters, but it doesn't explode, if that makes sense. Like, let me see if I have a picture of it. No, I don't. So the whole front would need to be coated, and he did say about using a, like a polyurethane on it. The only problem with poly and with plexiglass is they yellow over time. I don't know about the safety glass. I saw you just shared that. And yeah, that's what they used in construction of these things. It's a safety glass, so water could still seep in it, but it doesn't make a mess. But with the poly and the plexiglass, they yellow over time, so I don't know how that would affect the sun entering the panel portion of that. But he's gonna mess with it and see what we can do, because we could use one more panel. I have 2 Ninja bats upstairs. One's connected to the panel and the other gets rotated. So if we were able to fix that and then replace that, we'd have everything plugged into solar at all times. And on a good day, it's not a problem to have it open and pulling in power. But like today, it's snowing a little bit. And if we leave, you don't go often, but if we were to leave and something sets in or passes through, I don't know what that would do. So, but that was a good thought. I wish we could get away with nail polish. That'd be a lot cheaper. Shelley says, our renovations are waiting for a bathroom vanity on February 7th. We have some left, but only doing what we can afford, so no debt. Amen. That's the smartest thing to do. Thank you. Yes, safety and tempered glass is what was used on it. And we might be able to actually, I might be able to get a piece of glass like that, cut to size through the one company that we've dealt with that replaced our windshield. Have to check on that, because that would make it a whole lot easier. And I'm not sure how he's going to take this apart. He can now weld aluminum with the new welder he has. We had sold his big one before because we needed funding when we were on the other homestead. So when we sold, we replaced it, so he has a welder again suitable for his needs, and this one can do aluminum. So that is an aluminum frame. So there's hope that we might be able to, because the panel itself, the part that does the work, is not damaged. It's just the outer. Hello, Terry. We were just talking about you, wondering how you were doing. He says, good morning, my friend. Sorry I missed you. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your day. God bless. God bless you too. And there we go. Carol says, Terry, there you are. Are you okay? How you doing, Terry? How are things going up there? Are you seeing any weird things occurring in your location, being you're in New York? I know you're not in the city directly, I don't believe. So just curious. One thing we need to remember and do right now, more than anything, is we need to focus on God's word. Like Laura said, God allows things to happen. So we've got to continue to pray and pray wholeheartedly. And we've got to work out of a place of love. And the one thing we've got to do out of that place of love is not pick and choose what we want to believe, what we want to pray for. I'm saying that with this in the back of my mind. I've heard people talking, and it kind of bothered me, with our history trying to be erased. And our history is important. I believe wholeheartedly that our history is important because our history shows where we were and where we've come. And our history should enable us to learn both good and bad from all circumstances. So when I hear people say that, I think violence is wrong, and I don't think that statues and defacing things should be done, but I'm glad that one was removed, and it should have been. I don't want to see us doing that with God's word. I don't want to see us loving on one person and not loving on another because our flesh kept us from that. I don't want to see us picking and choosing and taking the Bible out of context, because right now everything in our world is being taken out of context and being twisted. And it's okay to protect the endangered animals, but it's okay to kill our babies. There's a lot of, and this is where we're at. It says in the Bible that things that are meant to be good are bad, and things that are bad are seen as good. And we've hit that point. We're living that out right now. And we need to stand on the truths of the word and hold tight to that, and not only read it and live it, but walk it and talk it. So much of the world doesn't want to have anything to do with Christianity as a whole because of all the hypocrisy. And the hypocrisy is because people, preach things, but they don't practice them. And one way that we can make a huge difference is by walking it and talking it, because people are going to see what we have and they're going to want it. So that's what we've got to do. More than anything, that's what we've got to do, and continue to do it. Let me see here. Good morning, Herbert. Okay, afternoon. It is, isn't it? Yeah, it's afternoon. Good afternoon, Herbert. Terry says, doing well. I'm doing good. In upstate New York in the snow. Was supposed to go to the chiropractor, but they couldn't give me a good price to see them, so I canceled my appointment. He says hello to Carol and everyone. Herbert's saying hello. Laura says, is that not? His books are amazing. She says, I am reading Derek Prince's book, Secrets of a Prayer Warrior, and he called Proverbs 4:20 through 22, God's medicine bottle, I think. All right, so let's read that. And I love his books. His books are absolutely amazing. Okay, so it was... Oh, Carol, you might be in luck. I think you might get to see the mountain man, maybe. I think I hear him. 4:20 through 22. Bear with me a second. Okay, so Proverbs 4:20 through 22. Oh, yes. My child, pay attention to what I say. Listen carefully to my words. Don't lose sight of them. Let them penetrate deep into your heart. For they bring life to those who find them and healing to their whole body. 23, I also like, which says, guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. right there. Yes, those are good words, Laura, and thank you for sharing that. And Derek Prince is a good person to look up. I don't know, you might be able to find a direct link to him by going to TrayerWilderness.com/Derek Prince, and it's DEREK, because he is one of my authors that I share a lot. So, Terry, we will be praying that you can get to the chiropractor. Things are going well here in upstate, still staying safe and away from everyone except for June. Good deal. Good deal. That's what we want to hear, is that you're hanging out with June. Laura says, I think it's good for the times we are in. Yes, another book that is good for the times that we are in is, give me a second because I'm having a brain fart. Having a lot of those lately. That's something you can pray for me for. I don't know, but I've been having a lot of brain farts lately. My brain doesn't seem to be keeping up like it once was, or like I was getting it to. One of the things I did to help that is I purchased some plants. Since we moved in here, I have not been feeling good. The other night on my Bible study, I just flared tremendously. My face got really red. So I've gotten some of the plants that pull the toxins out of the air and put oxygen back in the air. So it's This Present Darkness is the book that I wanted to share with you. And it is a fabulous book. And another one that is highly encouraged. But it's by Frank Peretti. I don't know if that's, I think it looks backwards. So, but it's This Present Darkness. And if you go to TrayerWilderness.com/Frank Peretti, that's another one I know you'll like, Laura. Really good read. Really, really good read. And really makes things clear. Okay, so this is Kayla. She says, that is so true. Awesome, and welcome, Miss Kayla. Now, what did I say that's so true? Because I'm jumping from one thing to the next. So can you share that with me? And you, young girl, are so much fun. I had so much fun seeing your smiling faces. And you know what? Now when I read that book, I'm putting you and Kate in there as the characters. That was so much fun. Shelley says, sounds like a new book to read, Space Girl. Yeah. Derek Prince's books are really, really good. Oh, okay, Smarty Pants. Carol says it's evening, lol. It's 9:51. Okay. Laura says, I'm learning many new, deeper meanings. Yeah, they're very insightful. It gives you a really open view to how the enemy intertwines. You've been sought out. So, Carol, it's your lucky day.
How you doing, Carol?
There you go, Carol. He made it back in time. We are having a good conversation. So Diana says, in house church, we are learning just how much the church has been deceived, just how much the traditions of men have been accepted and lived out as the Lord's word when they are not. Yep. And that again falls into the thing of deceit and the twistedness, excuse me, of our thinking in that. Okay. Kayla says how we need to pray for our country. Yep. And, that's super huge for someone your age to say that. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, sorry. Hi to everybody else, too.
Oh, yes, how rude of us. Carol, you're the love. Now, Kayla, share your age with us. Because this is what we need is our younger generations to clearly see that need. What is it Charlie Kirk, isn't it, baby?
Yeah.
He's what, 25 or 26?
20 something.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
his, I think, fiance or wife or whatever she is, she's like, I'd say 20s, low 20s too.
You guys need to check out Charlie Kirk, Kirk, on YouTube. He is a young 20s fella who has been going to the colleges and in a biblical way too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did one. He did one thing. I don't know what you want to call it, an interview or whatever. He was at some protest, and this young girl.
Love you, Shelley.
It was right to life and whatever, and this girl was for abortion.
Oh,
And,
right.
You know, he flat out told her, you know, look, he said something about if your parents had the chance to abort you, would have you wanted that? And she just kind of like, well, maybe. And he's like, why? He said, God created you. He loves you. He said, I love you. He said, each baby is a human being, you know. And he's like, why would you want that? So, yeah, he goes about a lot. He's a Christian.
Yeah.
They did a big rally. I think it was in
yeah, where was that?
Texas, I think.
Yeah.
And they did it in a big church and stuff. And you know,
but he's been rallying for Trump and rallying.
You know, even if you don't like Trump, and all that, just put all that aside and think about the values of whether it's being a Christian or being an American, what this country was founded on, and what, you know, what we are, what we stand for.
Right.
That's what this kid is trying to do.
Yeah, that's what he's pushing and stuff. So, but he does a lot of really cool stuff. He's a good kid.
But it's really neat to see somebody that age working as hard as he is. I mean, he's got hundreds of people helping him now to keep up with what he was doing. I mean, it's really impressive, and he's trying to open the youth's eyes, because a lot of times the colleges have a very left mindset and are teaching, just as our schools are, you know, twisted doctrine, twisted ethics, twisted everything. So it's pretty awesome to see him really taking off. And he had some one-on-one interviews with Donald Trump and that. But check him out. And Kayla shared. She is 12. I knew that, but I wanted her to share, because it's really awesome to see our youth wanting the good in our lives, and seeing the need for prayer, and seeing that we need to stand together. So I love that you always join with your mom, Kayla. That's really awesome. And
Kayla, don't be persuaded by what people say and what people do, how people act. Don't be swayed by that. Always put your trust and faith in God, and let Him lead the way. You do that, things won't always be easy in life, but you do that, and He'll lead you.
Yep.
And He'll show you the way. So
just in getting to meet Kayla that one time, she's got an old soul.
Just don't lose track of God.
Yep.
In your life.
Yep. She says, thanks for having me. But yes, and getting to meet Kayla face to face was really awesome. She's got an old soul, and I love it. I love it very much. And thank you for your kind words to her. That was awesome.
And that, you know, and what I said to her, I mean, that goes for anybody, but especially young people. Don't lose that focus on God. I know I grew up in a family that raised me up in a Christian home and that. And for quite a few years, my focus turned off of God. And I learned some valuable lessons through it. Don't So if you're a young person, you're listening to this, or older person, whatever, doesn't matter. Don't take your eyes off God. Things are going to be hard, but it's just life.
And
we live in the world,
fallen world. Yep.
So it is what it is.
And he's always there, regardless if you feel his presence. He's always, always, always there, which will lead into my reading for today. Then later,
I have to go. I got work to do. So everybody take care and God bless you.
Oh, hey, Kayla said, please thank him for me.
What?
Kayla said, please thank you for me, and Herbert said hello.
Howdy, Herbert.
Okay, so let me see here. I saw Diana. Diana said the Visitation by Frank Peretti also shows just how easily we can be led astray. Yeah, his books are very good. Let me see here. So Shelly, I think, went to work. If you're still out there, we love you, girl. Herbert says that cooking stove you have, Tammy, we got the exact one you have, and they're good for cooking I know. I absolutely love my wood cook stove. It is so awesome. Nicole and Kayla said so true. She says, thanks for having me. Carol says, wow, 12. Yes, she's 12, and she's fabulous. I'm so glad I got to meet her face to face in our Zoom the other day. Carol says, I think Kayla has been here before. She sounds awesome. Yeah, she has been joining us for a while with her mom, Nicole. But she was part of the Kids Corner on Friday, and it was awesome. Jane says, my children were always told, ask yourself this in everything. Would God approve? And would your parents approve? Yeah, that's an awesome checkpoint. And we have to do that. We have to do that too, when we are true to ourselves and true to God, honestly, it's such a comfortable place. When you get yourself to that place where you are not fearful of being who you are, who God made you to be, and that you are a child of God, and you stand firm in that, and you get yourself to that place, that confident place in him, it's a great, great thing. It's a great place to be because you don't sway and you know what you need to do when you're in that place. I think I saw Diana. I thought that's what I saw you say. She needs to head out. Love you all. Have a great rest of your week. Love you too, girl. I'm so glad you got to join us. Thank you for sharing the things you did. Tell Craig we say hello, and you guys take care down there. And I'll be in touch with you. Let me see here. Carol says, I didn't mean that. I meant as in a life before she's very wise. Oh, I got it. That's okay. So understood. That's why I said she's got an old soul. So we're on the same page saying the same thing. You're just saying the UK version and I'm saying the United States version. I love it. I love it. I love Carol's lingo. It's so much fun because I'm learning how they say things over there because she's probably having a cuppa and a bissy while she's watching, right? Is that your evening snack? And a bissy is her biscuit. But I love that. I so love that. Right. Let me see here. That's Kayla. Sadly, me and Caden might not be able to do it tomorrow, but we will watch the replay. Awesome. That's great. And I may actually need to bump the time. Are you guys able to do a little later in the day? Let me think here. 12. Because I was thinking about moving it to around 2 or 2:30 because I had another commitment that goes with my Tuesday event spreading out to Friday. So would 2 or 2:30 possibly work for you guys tomorrow? And if not, that's okay. But I might be changing the time, and I'll email about that. But that's okay if you can't make it. I had such a good time with you guys last week, and that's how it's going to go. And you guys can watch the replay. And I have some really good news. My dear friend, Patricia Harmon, is the author of the book we're reading in the Kids Corner. And I had this in mind, but I hadn't reached out to her and talked to her about it. But when we are at the end of the book, she is going to join us on the Zoom so that you can ask her questions and get to meet the author of the book. So it's pretty awesome. She's a really neat lady, and you're going to really, really like her. So I wanted to share that too. But I know you guys have a busy day ahead of you, so I'm going to read this quick. I thought this was kind of fitting, and we sort of talked about this already. But I wanted to share this. This was actually today's devotional. And it's fitting. Deuteronomy 33:27. God is your refuge, and his everlasting arms are under you. Consider these timeless words by Margaret Fishback Powers. One night I dreamed I was walking along the beach with my Lord. Across the dark sky flashed scenes from my life. For each scene I noticed 2 sets of footprints in the sand, one belonging to me and one to my Lord. When the last scene of my life shot before me, I looked back at the footprints in the sand, and there was only one set. I realized that this was at the lowest times of my life. This always bothered me, and I questioned the Lord about my dilemma. Lord, you told me when I decided to follow you, you would walk with me all the way. But I'm aware that during the most troublesome times of my life, there is only one set of footprints. I just don't understand why. When I need you most, you leave me. And he whispered, my precious child, I love you and will never leave you, never ever, during your trials and testings. When you saw only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you. And if you need more reassurance, read these scriptures. Deuteronomy 31:8, the Lord, he it is that doth go before thee. He will be with thee, he will not fail thee, neither forsake thee, fear not. And Hebrews 13:5-6, for he has said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee, so that we may boldly say, the Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me. So the word for today is God is with you. And, as I shared previously, we can be, let me see if I have it in here. We can be our biggest roadblock to that sometimes because we are fighting him on his efforts to be there for us. And he is there for us all the time. And this is the other one that goes along with that. So this one might resonate with you, but you need to switch over to the other and realize that he is there for you. One night I had a wondrous dream. A set of footprints on the sand were seen, the footprints of my precious Lord, yet mine were not along the shore. But then a stranger print appeared. I asked the Lord, what have we here? This print is large and round and neat, but Lord, it's just too big for feet. My child, he said in somber tones, for miles I carried you alone. I challenge you to seek my face. Take up your cross and walk in grace. You disobeyed, you would not grow, you would not stand against the flow. Your neck was stiff, your ears were shut, so there I dropped you on your butt. Because in life there comes a time when one must fight, when one must climb, when one must rise and take a stand or leave one's butt prints in the sand. And now, guys, more than ever, this is where we need to climb and we need to rise up and take a stand. Reading God's word every day is a powerful, powerful, powerful way to start your day. I challenge you guys to do it 1 to 5 minutes a day. And I challenged you to get a journal. And Carol got her journal. Whoop, whoop. And I kid you not, right here, we rearranged things so our Bibles and our journals were accessible. I write in this every day with excitement. I read this every day with excitement. If you're looking for some good reads, check out Ephesians and Philippians. I've enjoyed them greatly. And I do love this too, Carol. Isn't it awesome? Let me see here. Let me jump back. Kyman says hello. He's doing schoolwork on his laptop. Good afternoon, Kymond. Nicole says it might, or Kayla, it might work. I really want to try and be there, so I might try to Zoom from where we are at. I can't believe we get to meet her. This is so exciting. Yeah, she's a really neat lady. You'll really enjoy it. That's why I said last week I had something exciting. I messaged her this week, and she was totally stoked. So, and I knew she would be, but I just hadn't gotten a chance to reach out to her. Laura says, footprints in the sand. This hangs in my bathroom by the mirror. I love it. I love it. And you need to hang them side by side, because occasionally we allow our butt prints to go in the sand. You know, days when we can't grab our bootstraps, and days when we're down. And we all have those days. But we need to climb the mountain, and we need to be steadfast right now. And we need to really unite and strengthen one another. One of the things that's coming ahead, my community page is what I'm working on later today, so I can get it live. There's a lot of work involved, and I'm sorry it's taking so long. But one of the things we're going to do once a month, I'm going to keep doing my lives here like this so that we can draw in more people from YouTube and different places. But we're going to do a once a month Zoom. I'm so excited because this is one-sided. I get to see your emojis and your little faces, and I get to see what you're saying, but I want to see you. So I'm going to do, in the community, we'll do once a month live Zoom so that we can all see each other. And I think this will be so much fun. And I praise that because through the Bible study yesterday, my dear friend Rhonda and my dear friend Deb united because they live close by to each other. And they're in our Bible study and in our live videos. And they got to connect. Through these events, I've got to connect with Tammy Richards. I've got to connect with Deb. So it's amazing to be able to form lasting friendships through these events. So I'm excited. And the community page will enable us to share our food storage worksheets, our different videos. I have a couple other worksheets coming out that I want to share. And this will give us a platform to do that, as well as it'll be very similar to setup, very similar to Facebook and like an Instagram, that we can share things, comment on them, and then we'll have a monthly Zoom. So, all right, let's see here real quick. Jane says, we are human and we get frustrated when we do not get answers. I've been there. I've been angry at God. And yes, we need to be in it every day. He's always there with us. Amen. Amen. Laura says, I would prefer to hear that I move, not God dropping me. He would never do that. Well, this is true. So you can change those words, type it up and change those words. And I agree. He wouldn't drop us on our butts. He graciously placed us on our butts. I like that too. And agreed, because he wouldn't. God is loving. God does have a sense of humor though. And I could see him leaving us on our butt because we need to, it's just like with preparedness. I had somebody say to me, you know, are you keeping God in the equation of your preparedness efforts? And it really was good food for thought. God leads the way in our home, but that's not true for everybody that's thinking on preparedness. And the ultimate level of preparedness is when you are preparing forward for yourself and your family, but you are leaving God lead. Not that you talk to God and you ask for his help, but you lead, you let God lead. That is the ultimate level of preparedness. And that is what we need to do in our lives, is letting him lead us. Terry has to go. Have a wonderful and blessed day. God bless you all, and thank you all for your continuing prayers for June and I. You got it, brother. Take care. Have a good weekend. Hey, Shelly's back. I am watching from where I stopped, so I am behind the time. No worries. Pop back a little bit when I'm done, and you'll see this week's reading and some of the things that we were talking about. But I'm gonna end in a prayer here so that you guys can get back to your day. And Jane, that was absolutely true. We all have moments, and it is so important that we stay focused on God. Carol says, I'm missing the other half of me. Toika, where are you, girl? You're letting my corner get drafty, lol. That's funny. When she can see that on the replay. She's been in and out. Her surgery is coming up. Toika's surgery is January next week. I have it written in the date book. So you guys take precedence. You are in my date books when there's things coming up so we can pray. She's on the 29th. She has her knee surgery. So Toika has multiple surgeries coming up. That's next Friday. So keep her in your prayers. She has knee surgery and then she has to have back surgery. But she has to have her knee surgery done first. Both knees, I think. So definitely keep her in your prayers. She's been dealing with a lot of pain in her knees. And Jane, those were great shares the other day. CBD oil is, controversial, but I'm very big into natural medicines, and that is one that we definitely utilize and is very worth having for its benefits. We got Toika covered. We all love her. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that about our community. You know, it's amazing how we lift one another. And that is so, so important because I see the power of our prayers. There's a lot of people I've met over time that'll be like, yeah, I'll pray for you. And they later say that, oh, I totally forgot. And that happens. But this community is like so steadfast in their prayers, and I love that. I wanna start, and that's I just had this thought, divine intervention. On our community page, one of the things is we're gonna have a pinned post where people can share their prayer requests as well as their praises, because it is important. And I try to form lists, and they're coming at me from all directions. So we as a family pray over all of those, and I try to share as many of them as I can when we're live. And I did start a list on my Evernote, so I'm going to try to start posting that. I was doing that last year. Awesome. We just got a prayer for unspoken, and that is perfectly fine. God knows your needs. Do you mind sharing your name? That would be awesome, and where you're from. It's always nice to put a name with the YouTube call names. But absolutely, you got it. And we had Roxy join us last week. And I was kind of caught off guard because sometimes you don't know if what is coming across the comments in the chat sometimes, if it's not spam or not. We've had a couple spammers. We've been very fortunate on our lives. We have a lot of spam coming through on the videos once they're uploaded. And we've been trying to filter that. And I know Roxy caught me off guard. And Roxy, if you're watching, I'm sorry that you did catch me off guard. It's just that I kind of guard our space because I don't want trolls and troublemakers on here. But at the same time, we don't want to pass up being able to pray for someone, because it is an absolute blessing, an honor to be able to pray for other people. Roxy, I tried to look you up. I could not find you after the fact, so I don't know how to communicate with you. But we are praying for you. You've been in my prayers quite a few times. And yes, I too, Carol, have been worried about her, because that's a terrible place to be. I have a girlfriend that is living in a situation like that, and she's drawn into it and is refusing to leave it, or has been. And I worry about that, because it's an easy place to be manipulated. And I want to so if you're out there, Roxy, just know we're praying for you, and you're welcome to email me anytime. But whoever you are that just shared the unspoken prayers, you can count on them, because God knows what your needs are, and we don't need to know. But we're happy and honored to pray for you. So I'm gonna take us in prayer here. Papa, I love you, and I thank you for all you do in our lives. I thank you, and just am so blessed by this community, and I am thankful that you nudged me to do these videos 3 years ago. I am thankful that you have built our community up with such amazing, like-minded people. And it is such an honor to be able to pray for those that are in need, and to have more and more joining us from all over the world. It's so awesome. I just ask that you be with Carol in the UK and give her a good night's rest, because she's in her night hours. But just be with her, love her, wrap your arms around her, and give her comfort and peace when she needs it. Be with Jane with her MS and the pains that she experiences. Be with Toika and just help her with her knee and her back pain, and just give her great peace and comfort this week, so that when she steps into her surgery on Friday, she goes in there with ease and is able to come home and be pain-free. Just touch her and heal her body. And we're praising you for the new life in Shelley's family and the new baby and what you're doing there. And we just thank you that you have blessed them, and just continue to keep your hand on all of them and a hedge of protection over them. I pray for Diana and Craig. Just thank you for placing them in my life, and the honor of being able to pray for them. Just strengthen them, love on them, and encourage them, and be there for them. And I ask that you be with the unspoken prayers that were listed here today, and just help them and be with them. Give our community great peace and comfort during these times, and just help us to find our strength in you, in your word, in our community. And thank you for loving on us. And just be with Terry and June. Continue to help them. And be with all those that are hurting right now, those that are lost. And just give them strength, give them renewal, and help them to find you. And we just pray that you continue to be a part of our lives, be a part of our community. We can feel your presence. I'm so thankful. And just thank you for what you're going to do for each and every one of us, for the abundance you will provide, for the strength and courage you will give, and for the peace and comfort that we will have as a result of being a child of God. And I just thank you so much. I feel so tremendously blessed every day. And I'm so thankful that you're in my life, because I couldn't imagine walking out daily without you in it. So thank you for what you're going to do in our lives and our community. And we ask all this in your holy and precious name of Jesus. Amen. So guys, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for the renewal. Thank you for your friendship and being part of the family. I just absolutely love it. And it's so amazing. It's so amazing to see what God is doing here. And I also forgot to mention Roxy. We'll keep Roxy in our prayers, and God just keep a hand on her, and also our friend Pat Kenny, who is going through his chemo treatments and different things there and different treatments. I know he's not feeling well and gets under the weather, so just keep him in your prayers also. And I look forward, if you guys are able to join Kayla and Kaden, that will be really fun to see you tomorrow. If you can't make it, that is okay as well. Kayla, did you say it would be helpful if it was a little later in the day, or would it wouldn't make a difference? Because I can switch it tomorrow, and we can put an email out. So because I'm going to have to switch it anyway. So if you can respond to that and let me know, that would be great. But guys, regardless what's going on, keep praying. Praying is our greatest tool. And Laura, I'm so glad you were able to join us for this. I know you've been busy on your homestead too, and I'm so thankful to have you as a part of being able to come back and be a part of things. Same with Diana. That was awesome to have Diana and Shelly. Shelly's been out for quite a while because of her work. And I got to show you guys something. This is so funny. I don't know if you keep seeing me looking over here. You know how I see hearts everywhere? I also love dragonflies. Dragonflies are part of the logo for my web design business, but I just noticed this. Do you see that? There's a dragonfly on my wall. That's so cool. Yep, God blesses me every day in such unique and special ways. So I will probably be live tomorrow, I'm thinking, so that I can share with you him putting these stairs in. Laura says, thank you. We are working, and I run back to comment from time to time. That's awesome. Well, I'm so glad. Thank you. And keep building the homestead. And it was good for the things that you shared. So true. So true. Oh, that's cool. I see that too. Carol says, from here, that looks like an angel with a halo. I do see that too. Well, there you go. That's just as much a blessing. Nicole says, my daughter is also so blessed and encouraged by you, desiring more and more to serve the Lord with people like you and your husband to lead her forward. She said that later is better. Awesome. Nicole, well, you've raised up some good children. I really enjoyed that. I got off of there because God's nudged me to do this kids corner, and I really don't know where it's going to go or what he's got in mind, but it's no different than me doing these lives 3 years ago. I hated being on live video, and I enjoy it now. But it was so fun meeting them last week, and she's on the right track, and it's amazing. It's just, so thank you guys. Thank you for sharing them with me as well. And I will bump it up. I'll check the email that comes out tomorrow for the exact time. And if you can join, that's great. If things are too chaotic, just watch the replay. But and thank you for those kind words. That's what we pray for every day, is for God to lead us and guide us, and more importantly, to use us. And he's definitely doing that on this channel. We give him all the glory. It's amazing what he's doing, and it's amazing to have these young kids like Kayla and Caden and Kyman joining us. Kyman, if you can, join us on the book club or Kids Corner for the book reading. It's free. TrayerWilderness.com/Kids Corner, and would love to have you, and you can watch the replay there too if it interferes with your schooling. But guys, thank you. It's been so much fun. I love you all, and we are praying for all of you daily, and I look forward to joining you next week on this live, and you'll see us periodically throughout the week with our daily updates, because we've still got lots to do and more coming your way. So you guys have a fabulous rest of your day. I love you all, and God bless.